Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, you are going to see in-text question answers from chapter 1 chemical reactions and equations from your grade 10 science textbook. So here I am going to explain all answers for those questions. So first let us see page number 6 in-text question. Why should a magnesium ribbon be cleaned before burning in air? We know when magnesium is reacting with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. Of course, this is not balanced equation. Let us balance it later. So if you take that magnesium ribbon and if it is exposed to air or oxygen which is present in atmosphere around it, automatically that magnesium will be forming one layer on it. You see, it will form one layer, and that layer of magnesium oxide is quite stable and prevents further reaction of magnesium with oxygen. So if you burn it by using burning splinter or Bunsen burner, it will not catch fire very easily because of presence of that layer. So if you remove that layer by using some sandpaper or something, automatically that layer can be removed and easily that magnesium will catch fire. So that magnesium ribbon always you have to clean before burning in air. Why? Because it will catch fire so easily. And while coming to the balancing equation, reactant side you have one magnesium, product side you have one magnesium balance, reactant side you have two oxygens, and here there is only one oxygen. To balance it you have to place 2 in front of MgO, then 2 is applicable for Mg at the same time O. Now magnesium has become 2, you have to place 2 in front of this magnesium. Now 2 Mg plus O2 gives us to 2 MgO is balanced chemical equation. Second question, write balanced equation for the following chemical reactions. First, hydrogen plus chlorine gives rise to hydrogen chloride. Guys, hydrogen chloride or hydrochloric acid, both are same. Now hydrogen, everyone will be making mistake here. Hydrogen in the sense they will take just H. H is symbol for hydrogen, but while coming to chemical reactions, you have to write H2. So H2 when it is reacting with chlorine, Cl2. So if you remember your fourth chapter, carbon and its compounds, you have learnt about single bond between hydrogen. Why there will be single bond? Because H2 is stable, H is not stable. So that, so hydrogen plus chlorine gives rise to hydrochloric acid or hydrogen chloride, that is HCl. Now if you see, it is not balanced because they have asked balanced equation. Now there are two hydrogens reactant side and only one hydrogen product side, and two chlorines reactant side, one chlorine product side. If you place 2, then it will become balanced. Next, barium chloride. Guys, before writing molecules, have some idea regarding crisscross method. Barium chloride, you see barium Ba chlorine Cl and BaCl. Valency for barium is 2, valency for chlorine is 1. 1 goes to barium, it will become Ba1, 2 goes to chlorine, it will become Cl2. At last you can write barium chloride as BaCl2 plus aluminium sulfate, aluminium Al sulfate SO4. And for aluminium, atomic number of aluminium is 13, sodium magnesium aluminium, 13 is atomic number, 3 is valency for aluminium, for sulfate valency is 2, then for aluminium 2 will be here, and for sulfate that 3 goes to here. So it will become Al2SO4 taken thrice. So aluminium sulfate chemical formula Al2SO4 taken thrice and gives rise to what they have asked, barium sulfate. Yes, you know barium Ba sulfate SO4, you write 2 times BaSO4. For barium what is the valency? 2. For sulfate what is the valency? 2. 2 goes to barium, it will become Ba2. 2 goes to sulfate, it will become Ba2SO4 taken twice. But here if you observe 2 is common, you can remove this 2. At last it will become BaSO4. That's it. No need to write Ba2SO4 taken twice. Just BaSO4 plus aluminium chloride. Aluminium Al, chloride means Cl, AlCl. Aluminum atomic number 13, valence is 3. Chlorine atomic number 17, valence is 1. 1 goes to aluminium, 3 goes to chlorine, it will become Al1Cl3. At last you can write it as AlCl3. No need to represent that 1. Now this is not balanced because you see one barium reactant, one barium product balanced. Chlorines 2 is there, here 3 is there, not balanced. Then Aluminium 2, aluminium 1, not balanced, like that. Now what you can do, just you can place, first let us try to balance the chlorine. Chlorine is 2 here, chlorine is 3 here. Both are not in the same table, 2 and 3, but what it would be the common in the sense, 6 is common. 2 into 3 you can do, 3 into 2 you can do. So here you can place 2, here you can place 3, such that chlorines will be balanced first. So now 3 into 2, 6 chlorines, 2 into 3, 6 chlorines balanced. Now you see 2 aluminiums, 2 aluminiums got balanced, 3 barium, but here 1 barium, just place 3, now 3 bariums got balanced. Now SO4, 3 is applicable for SO4, now 3 is applicable for SO4, got balanced. Like that you need to balance the chemical equation. Next, third one, sodium plus water gives rise to sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen. Sodium Na, here you can use Na, don't use Na2, plus water, chemical formula of water is H2O, gives rise to sodium hydroxide. How to write sodium hydroxide? You see sodium Na, hydroxide OH, NaOH, sodium atomic number is 11, 1 is the valency, hydroxide valency is 1, 1 goes to sodium, 1 goes to hydroxide. So simply you can write it as NaOH plus hydrogen. Hydrogen always it is H2. Now you see whether it is balanced or not. 1 Na balanced, 2H and 2H plus 1H, 3H not balanced, 1 oxygen got balanced. Now what you can do? You have to balance those hydrogens. Now what you can place? You can place 2 here. If you place 2, you can observe there are 4 hydrogens here, 1 plus 2, 3 hydrogens. Now place 2 here. Now 2 is applicable for hydrogen. Now there will be 2 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here, 4 hydrogens, 4 hydrogens got balanced, and 2 is applicable for oxygen also, and 2 is applicable for oxygen got balanced, and 2 is applicable for sodium, 2 sodiums, but only 1 sodium you can place 2. Now it will be balanced. Like that you need to balance, guys. How to balance chemical equation, I have made it one dedicated video regarding that. I'll paste the link in description box. You can check that link. There you can try to understand how to count molecules, how to count atoms, and how to balance chemical equation. Next, third question, write balanced chemical equation with state symbols for the following reactions. You see, first you need to balance, at the same time you have to go with symbols. I think so you know symbols. If it is liquid, you have to make it as L, gas you have to make it as G, solid, basically you cannot write anything for solid. So if you want, you can write it as S for solid, and special symbols you have one up arrow mark, down arrow mark, and AQ. Here up arrow mark represents gas, down arrow mark represents substance which are settling at the bottom, and AQ represents aqueous. What is meant by aqueous? If you take water H2O and if you mix whatever you want, you can mix. You can mix either acid, you can mix either base, salt, or something. If you add, that will become, if you add acid, it will become acidic solution. Base, if you add, it will become basic solution. Salt, if you add, it will become salt solution. Like that, those special type of solutions are known as aqueous. Now, solution of barium chloride. Barium chloride, if you don't know chemical formula, go with crisscross method. Barium, chlorine, barium, chlorine. Barium valency is 2. Chlorine atomic number 17, valency is 1. 1 goes to barium, 2 goes to chlorine, it will become BaCl2. Barium chloride, BaCl2. And sodium sulfate, sodium Na, sulfate SO4, write it twice, NaSO4, sodium atomic number 11 and valency is 1. Sulfate, no atomic numbers for sulfate, but valency is there, that is 2. Now 2 goes to sodium, it will become Na2, 1 goes to sulfate, no need to represent 1, it will become Na2SO4. So barium chloride plus Na2SO4, sodium sulfate in water. No need to represent that H2O, because barium chloride will be in solid state, I mean in powder. Sodium sulfate is also a salt powder. Both you have to mix in water, simply to say both are aqueous solution. You see, if you are mixing that salt in water, it will become aqueous solution, right? So here if you observe BaCl2 AQ, Na2SO4 AQ, no need to write S, no need to write L. Reacts to give insoluble. You see, insoluble means which will be settling at the bottom, right? Simply to say solid, you can use either solid or you can use this down arrow mark. What it will give? Barium sulfate. So barium, Ba, sulfate, SO4. And what is the valency for sulfate? It is, yeah, it is 2. So 2 will be going to barium, and you see BaSO4. Barium valency is 2, sulfate valency is 2, 2 goes to sulfate, 2 goes to barium, Both are same numbers, right? You can cancel this one and it will become BaSO4 in simple. So BaSO4, no need to write Ba2SO4 taken twice. Plus it will give sodium chloride NaCl. Now first let us check whether it is balanced or not. 1Ba balanced, Cl2 1Cl not balanced, Na2 1Na not balanced. Simply keep 2 here. Now 2 NAs balanced, 2 chlorines balanced. Next 1SO4 balanced. Now this is balanced equation. Now what you have to do? We have to keep states. So BaCl2 is aqueous, Na2SO4 is aqueous, barium sulfate which is insoluble, you can keep either this one or you can go with solid. Sodium chloride which is transparent solution which will be floating. So it is aqueous. Done. Next one, sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH. NaOH. Now sodium valence is 1, OH valence is 1, so 1 will be coming here. Simply you can keep NaOH plus hydrochloric acid. You see, sodium hydroxide solution in water in brackets, so no need to keep H2O because sodium hydroxide is a base which you have to dissolve in water. Simply to say it is aqueous solution. Reacts with hydrochloric acid. Chemical formula of hydrochloric acid HCl gives rise to, that is also in water, no need to represent H2O, to produce sodium chloride solution and water. You see, they are not saying sodium chloride solution in water, they are saying sodium chloride solution and water. So sodium chloride means NaCl and means plus water H2O. Let us see whether it is balanced or not. 1Na balanced, oxygens 1 balanced, 1 hydrogen 2, here 2 balanced, 1 chlorine balanced. No need to balance, it is already balanced equation. Now sodium hydroxide is a base, you have to add that base in water, it will become AQ. So this is AQ. HCl, it is not concentrated, you are taking in water, so AQ. NaCl, that is salt which will be in powder state but you will get in liquid, so salt solution, it is AQ. Water, of course it is liquid L. Like that you have to write it. Next, in text question page number 10, a solution of substance X is used for whitewashing. For whitewashing, what we'll use? We'll use quicklime. QUICK, quicklime. What is quicklime? Chemical formula, it is CaO, calcium oxide. Name the substance X and write it formula. What is the name? Name is calcium oxide and chemical formula is CaO. Guys, while you are writing chemical formulas, make sure that what should be capital and what should be small. Capital C, small a, capital O, like this only you have to write. Don't write like CaO. This is absolutely wrong. Next, write the reaction of that substance X named in 1 above with water. So what is that X? CaO. CaO, when it is reacting with water, H2O, what you will get? You will get only one product, that is CaOH taken twice, nothing but calcium hydroxide, and it is slaked lime. So go with the difference. Quicklime is CaO, slaked lime is CaOH taken twice. So I think so you know how you got CaOH taken twice. Calcium hydroxide. If you see atomic number of calcium, argon, potassium, calcium 20. 20 is near to 18. Valence is 2. Hydroxide valence is 1. 1 goes to calcium, 2 goes to hydroxide. So Ca1, 2 is applicable for O and H. So that only you are placing OH taken twice like this. No need to represent this one. So it will become CaOH taken twice. Why is the amount of gas collected in one of the test tubes activity 1.7 double of the amount collected in other? So activity 1.7 in your textbook, if you observe, that is electrolysis of water. So if you see electrolysis of water, there will be a tub with a beaker with some water and there will be 2 electrodes, and if you connect 2 electrodes to a battery, what will happen? From 2 electrodes you will be getting some gas, bubbles will be forming, and if you insert 2 test tubes which are inverted, you can observe automatically level of water will vary. In one test tube, level of water will be this much, I mean this much space will be there, and in another test tube level will be only this much, I mean this much space in one test tube, this much space in one test tube. Now if you see what liquid you are using here, it is H2O, and if you observe hydrogens, how many hydrogens? 2 hydrogens. How many oxygens? 1 oxygen. So water will be forming in 2:1 ratio. Now which one is in greater count? Hydrogen in greater count, oxygen in least count. So if you see more gas, that is representing hydrogen gas. If you are seeing less gas, you can say that one as oxygen gas. Now what they are asking, why is the amount? Okay, during electrolysis of water, hydrogen and oxygen is get separated by electricity. So that is electrolytic decomposition. In chapter 1 you have learned. So H2O gives rise to, if you give electricity, it will become H2 plus O2 contains two parts of hydrogen here, and one part of oxygen, so 2:1. Since hydrogen goes to one test tube and oxygen goes to another, the amount of gas collected in one of the test tube is double the amount of collected in other. So if oxygen is one part, hydrogen will be two parts. That is the explanation for this question. Next, last three questions to discuss in this video. After that, I'll be posting another video where you can get all 20 answers for exercise questions. First, why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when iron nail is dipped in it? You see guys, copper sulfate is a salt, CuSO4. What is the color of copper sulfate? Blue in color. Now, if you add iron in it, Fe gives rise to, I think so you have some idea about displacement reaction. If you are taking one salt and one metal is added to it, automatically you can get one metal displaced from the salt and new salt is formed. Now CuSO4 plus Fe gives rise to, here copper will be displaced out, you will get FeSO4 and copper will be displaced, you can get it here. Now why does the color of copper sulfate solution change when iron is dipped in it? When iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution, copper sulfate will be in blue color, which is more reactive than the copper. Iron is reactive than the copper, so that it will be displacing it. Copper will be displaces from the copper sulfate and forms iron sulfate. That iron sulfate is green in color. So that is the color change you can observe. So therefore, blue color copper sulfate solution fades and green color appears. Remember this equation, most important. Second question, give an example of double displacement reaction other than one given in activity 1.10 in your science textbook of chapter 1. What is given? There you can observe barium sulfate and sodium chloride. If you remember, here we have discussed. If you remember this equation, first one, this is given in your textbook. BaCl2 plus Na2SO4 gives rise to BaSO4 plus 2NaCl. That is example for double displacement reaction. They are asking to give another example rather than that one. So what another example you can give? Here you can see sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, sodium carbonate plus calcium chloride gives rise to calcium carbonate and sodium chloride is another example for double displacement. So what is the first example? Na2SO4 sodium sulfate plus BaCl2 barium chloride gives rise to BaSO4 barium sulfate plus 2NaCl is first one. This one is second. So two examples you got for double displacement. Now last question in your in-text. So here identify the substances that are oxidized and substances that are reduced in the following. Okay, here you have to go with the equation. So first equation, if you observe, Na plus O2 gives rise to 2Na2O. Now how to represent this one? You see guys, reactant side you have only one Na, right? Na is there. Product side you have Na2O. Simply to say Na is becoming Na2O. So here we have to understand the difference between oxidation and reduction. So oxidation means addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Next, reduction, addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen. Now if you observe, for sodium, what is happening? Addition of oxygen is happening. So simply to say, you can call this one as oxidation. So sodium is getting oxidized. Now here you can observe O2. Now here there is only one O. Simply to say, oxygen is becoming reduced. Simple. So sodium oxidized, oxygen reduced. Same like that, you see second example, CuO plus H2 gives rise to Cu plus H2O. How to write that one? Reactant side you have CuO, product side you have Cu. CuO, it is becoming Cu. From CuO, oxygen is removed and it is becoming Cu. You see, removal of oxygen, nothing but reduction. So copper is getting reduced. Now hydrogen, if you observe, only hydrogen you have reactant side. Product side, H2 got oxygen. So hydrogen is getting oxidized. So like that you have to write answers for all these in-text question answers. And in next video, there will be answers for all exercise question answers 20 we have. I'll be explaining that and it will be explained detailed in English. So if you like this and if you feel this is important and easy, you can share this video to your friends. Till then, bye. Have a nice day.